Do you want to know which categories are going to be the best ones to sell during this coming Q4 period? Well, in this video today, I'm going to share with you my top selling Amazon Arbitrage UK categories for Q4. Stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson. I've been selling on Amazon now, doing online arbitrage for the last 5 years. Now I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller with 2 Amazon businesses, UK and USA, and hopefully we're going to be selling into another marketplace in the near future. And if you're interested in learning how I've done it, what I'm doing, and what I'm learning on my journey, do make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. But hey, enough about me. What are we going to go through today? Well, first things first, number one, let's give you a little bit of backstory. Let's give you a little history behind this, why we're doing it. Number two, let's talk about where we're actually getting this information from and where the data is happening or coming from. Number three, let's give you that answer that you're after. My top selling Amazon UK categories for Q4. And then finally, number four, let's give you some top tips and tricks that are going to really help you out to take this Q4 to the next level. Let's get started. First things first, and let's give you a little bit of backstory and introduction into the topic today. Now look, as you might all know, I've been selling on Amazon now for the last 5 years, and pretty much in the UK marketplace is my longest running marketplace, and that is during the online arbitrage business model. Now with my years of experience, I want to share my learnings with you and people who are watching this channel, and hopefully that's going to support you in your Q4 period as well, because it's a big marketplace, and my God, there's a lot of opportunity, and I have learned so much from other people that I really like to share as well. Now, you might be asking, why is this important? Well, quite simply, time and time again, Q4 is referred to as the most important period. And because this is when everyone is buying toys, presents, games, everything for their loved ones over the Christmas period. Now, the reason why I talk about this is because in our Amazon business, we are here to make money, we're here to grow our business. And this is when the real time of year, when our goals become realities. And also as well, we need to make some tough decisions. What I will say is preparations during this period come with pressure, which can be super challenging. And that is why this video is going to help you prepare for, should we say, the uncertainty that lies ahead, and help you familiarize yourself with what categories are going to help from the learnings that I've had and which have helped us over the last Q4 period. Okay, so today I'm talking about top categories, best categories for Q4. And before I share mine, I want to know, what are your top categories for Q4? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it beauty, toys, health and personal care? Let me know in the comments down below. Now this leads me nicely onto my second chapter, where I'll be getting this data from that I'm about to tell you. In my own Amazon business, we utilize a sheet that helps us track all our top selling products, all our top selling categories, and it gives us insights, data, analytics into what's working in our business and what's not. So we can do more of what's working and less of what's not. The 80-20 principle, working smarter, not harder. I'm a big believer in that. Now, the sheet we use is called the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. To give you a little bit of background behind the USS and what it does, the sheet supports you in collecting the data you need to help scale your business. Basically, the USS serves as a one-stop shop to track all of our processes and activities within the business. We are collecting all our purchasing data. We are tracking it versus, we say, the sales data. We're tracking it versus the VAs. We're understanding which suppliers are giving us the most profitable products, which stores are working the most, categories, which VAs are giving us the most profit. And it's allowing us to focus our energies in those top areas. So many people use this sheet and so many people have seen their business grow. And not only that, it has a link, it has a connection to our own data servers and Amazon's data servers as well. We can pull your data back to the sheet and you can add on to that as well. And we've got a whole support team, which really helps finding more deals, getting more profit, and being more efficient, saving time. That is game changing. And you know what? I like to spend my time enjoying life, not always working. These top 4 categories I'm about to go through are coming from this USS data that we've actually looked at, analyzed from our own top selling categories last year. Let's jump into my third chapter, my top selling categories for Q4. Let me run you through those top selling categories one by one and explain a little bit about them. So top selling category number 1, this is going to be electronics, got you there. You were thinking something else, weren't you? Now, why do I mention this category? Why do I talk about it? We've seen that these products sell super well. In the past, things like printers, heaters, they have big profit margins. Now, in addition to that, we believe that a lot of new sellers just don't buy electronic items. Why? Because they're worried about issues, they're having problems, maybe competing with new sellers, which is why they stay away. I had an interview recently with a good friend of mine called Gavin Sweeney. He was doubling his money every month buying printers. That was during the COVID time. I've talked a bit about the positives. Let me talk about some of the cons behind the electronics category that you might want to consider. Now, this category does have big profit margins because of big selling prices, but it can come with a disadvantage since the computers and accessories are expensive. So the bigger the value of the product you're selling, generally the higher the profit. Not only that, we observe that there's sometimes limited stock when purchasing under this category. And if you do, buy a lot of stock and you get returns, problems with it, obviously because of the higher cost of the goods, it can cost you more in, unfillable inventory. They're a lot more expensive. Now, what I advise for you when sourcing deals in this category is sourcing for items. And one thing I really check is just making sure you're checking for the plugs, making sure that you are finding suppliers located within the UK to avoid having EU plug issues. Now, this leads me nicely onto my second category. Now, the second category is beauty. Now, in this category, we've seen that most of the products under the beauty category are selling well throughout the year. I love that. It's absolutely amazing. Now, if you are worried about perhaps maybe buying excess stock, let's say, for example, Q4 period, then what I can say about selling beauty products is that it doesn't matter. Everything you pretty much buy in the beauty products category is going to keep selling the next quarter. That is something that we really like about it. Now, not only that, the beauty products category is being sold by pretty much every single retailer that you can buy from, and you can buy in bulk in a lot of them, or you can buy from lots of retailers, which allow you to get purchasing volumes up and hence profits as well. Now, if you want, what I'd really recommend is do make sure you're stocking up on those items for the Q4 category. Quite simply, when they get selling in Q4, oh my God, they really get selling. You cannot ship in quick enough. Now, one thing which I will say is that's some of the advantages that we've seen last year that I shared with you. Let's talk about the cons. Now, look, under this category, time and time again, we've seen that there is a lot of competition. It does happen because a lot of Amazon sellers understand that not only beauty is a great product in Q4, it's a great product all year round, hence the increase in competition. Now, not only that, we've also seen this category is prone to unexpected issues, and one of the causes that we've seen around that is some of the ingredients that it contains, which are not allowed within the UK marketplace. Now, with that being said, what I advise to you is to avoid sourcing items outside of the UK, really. EU, you're okay, but generally outside of the EU, you've got a problem. So to prevent that, trying to prevent those product safety issues, that's going to help you out. Now, the third category on my list for you is sports and outdoor. Now, what I will say about this category is that these items are fast selling. It sounds a bit weird. Sports and outdoor during the Christmas period, what's going on? No one's outdoor in the UK. But what I will say is that under the sports and outdoor, a lot of people are giving gifts for this holiday season. Think about it, like get fit, health. January's around the corner. These are times when people are like worrying about their weight, especially COVID lockdown, they want to save. Those sports products that you can do, weights, yoga mats, those kind of things are going to sell really well because they're great gift ideas. Notice that word, gifts. I'll talk about that later. Now, what I will say is along with the pros of selling sports and outdoor, we have seen them actually sell really well and they have less competition, which I love because most people don't think it's a good category, but it does work, is that actually we've experienced a lot of the products are private label branded products that we just shouldn't be reselling. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is this an issue? Well, if you sell items that are private label, you're likely to get what's known as an IP or intellectual property complaint. Basically, an intellectual property complaint is a pre-action before legal action brought by one party against another when it feels that the other party is infringed on its intellectual property. And basically what happens is that company or that brand or their owner tell Amazon, I or Tom or you have infringed on their IP by selling their product. And as a result, you get a red mark on your Amazon account. Now, if you get too many red marks, you can lose your Amazon account. And this is very, very dangerous. Now, what do I recommend? Make sure you're checking your brands on the FastTrackFBA IP brand checker. This is a list of all the brands that we know about which issue IP complaints that you should be staying away from. I'll drop a link down below. Trust me, it's really going to save it. save it in a bookmark within your Chrome browser, check the brands on that. Now, what do I advise when you're sourcing under this category is to, make sure you get ungated in the big brands, because those brands are the ones that are fast selling, and that is the ones you want to go after because they are going to make you the money. Now, the fourth and the final category is, wait for it, I know what you're thinking, and it's not, it's home and kitchen. It's not what you're thinking, and I'll talk about what that thinking is in a minute. Now look, based on our experience, when we're sourcing items under this category, it has a wide range of products. We love that. So if you're looking for a category that's got endless options to choose from, home decor, cleaning, supplies, furniture, and many more items in this, then obviously you've got a wide range of deals. Now, in addition to that, you also get high profits. Now, despite the advantages of this category, what we've seen is that a lot of these products, remember I talked about earlier, furniture, they are big, which can have a result in higher FBA fees, shipping fees, and even storage fees if you're doing it through Amazon. Now, not only that, we've also experienced a lot of fragile items. Now, you might be asking, why is this an issue? Well, quite simply because, you know what, while we do love Amazon FBA, they are not really the best at handling your items. So even if you manage to get it to Amazon, shipped perfectly, it might be damaged in their warehouse, and they'll say actually it was damaged by you, the distributor, not by them as a supplier. And that being the case, you're losing the money for that product. So just be mindful. Now, what I do advise to you is whenever you're doing shipping with any of these items, just make sure you're prepping them really well. But also as well, if you're doing merchant fulfilled, use premium delivery, get it shipped, get it handled correctly, put that handle with care signs on it. But if you're doing it with FBA, just make sure you're careful with the products you're shipping, and obviously they have that fragile sign on it, because the home and kitchen category can be a really fragile category to buy from. Regardless of, the considerations for the extra cost of shipping and the extra work you might want to do, you really want to think about just making sure that the profit you're getting in these products is profitable and covering that cost. Ideally you want to make sure that the extra work is going to cost no more than, an additional 5% of the total cost. Something to consider there. Now, what I will say is today I'm talking about Q4 categories. Why? Because you're probably like me. We want to make money in the Q4 period. This is the time that you can make so much money. I hear people talking about in Q4, you can make more money than Q1, 2, and 3 combined. That's incredible. You understand that time is your most valuable asset. And hey, you probably don't have enough time to go find all the products you need to find to spend all the money you have to make all the profit that you could make in the Q4 period. You've got a problem. And how do you solve that problem? You need more deals, more leads, more products to buy. What I want to introduce to you is the FastTrackFBA deal service. This is quite simply a service I created whereby you as an Amazon seller can access every single deal that my sourcing team finds. Quite simply, you come in, you buy tokens within our FastTrackFBA deals service. You can see all the deals as they're coming in from my sourcing VAs, not the ones we're buying, but even the ones we're finding. Some of the ones we find we might not buy, but you might want to. Now you review all the details, profit, ROI, put in your information, look at the keeper charts, and when you find the deals that you like, you use those tokens, you unlock them, get access to the supplier URL and the Amazon ASIN. If you're interested, want to know more, do check out FastTrackFBA deals. I'll drop it down below, a link. You can see that. This is going to really change the game for your online arbitrage business into Q4 and beyond. Trust me, you're going to love it. Have a look at the link down below. Now this leads me nicely onto some top tips for you. So what do I recommend for you and what can I say to help you out? Well, look, first things first, check the keeper graph. I cannot stress this enough. Check the keeper to show what the product sales are and the history over time. You want to know which items are selling in Q4, and checking the keeper graph is going to help you if it's selling or not. And you want to go back a whole year to see how it performed in Q4 last year, not Q3, not just the last 3 months, which is the default on keeper. Check that 1 year button. Also, well, you can see if it's stopped selling in Q1, that means you've got to get it sold in the Q4 period. Don't hold on to it. Now, the second top tip I'd really recommend for you, just like what we've done in this video today, review your records for Q4 and look at what you've sold or what you've purchased. That's really going to help you understand by what you should be focusing on, what categories, what products you should be looking at during this period is going to help you out. My third top tip for you is don't overstock on seasonal items. Now, I say this because if you do overstock and you don't get them sold at the right time, you are going to lose money. That is because, if you are buying let's call it advent calendars for the Q4 period, where, hey, if you hold on to them too long, advent calendars sell early December very, very well. 25th of December, 1st of January, not really. That's not something you want to do. And you really don't want to be holding all that stock in, a product until next Q4 period. So be very careful, be checking Keeper, checking your past records, and making sure you're buying the right amount, and also monitoring the stock levels and getting them sold through for the end of the period. Now, my fourth top tip, I will kind of come back to it. Today, I was talking through the categories we talked through, and through every category, I said to you, the one that everyone talks about, quite simply, toys and games. And you might notice I didn't actually put it in this video today. And you might be asking, why, Tom? We are seeing an increase in what's known as the product compliance requests. This is whereby Amazon are requesting you to have product compliance documentation for your products in toys and games. Why do I tell you this? Because if you go out there tomorrow and you buy 100 or 200 units of one of the best-selling toys and games, fantastic, and you're like, this Q4 is going to be amazing, well, what happens? What if Amazon come back to you and say, hey, we need a product compliance request? And if you can't get that document to them in the next 15 days, you cannot sell that item. Now you have two choices. 3, return it back to the supplier. 2, get the document requested, or sell it through within the 15 days. If you don't do that, you've now got money stuck in inventory that you cannot sell. And that's a real danger. So my top tip for you is do a test buy, or even get it listed on Amazon Seller Central first, and just wait a couple of days, maybe a week, to see if Amazon asks for a product compliance request. If you've had it in there like a week, 2 weeks, and they haven't asked you, then you're probably going to be fine. You can go probably deeper. Not easy, not an ideal situation. And it's one of the big cons behind selling toys and games that we've seen. Now, the final thing which I'll talk about, which is probably one of the most important things, is we talked about, you can make more money in Q4 than 1, 2, and 3 combined. Wow, just buy everything, 10x it. Don't. Think about it this way. Products which you can gift, or products which are going to be used in addition to normal day-to-day habits, maybe as part of the festivities, are going to be the products which will sell really well. Let me give you an example. Lego. Lego sells all year round. Everyone's buying it for birthdays. But also as well, Lego is a great product to gift as a present over Christmas. Hence why, generally, Lego and toys and games sales go up. But let's also talk about another one, toilet bleach. Now, toilet bleach obviously sells throughout the year. People are using toilet bleach all the time, but are you going to gift toilet bleach over Christmas? Probably not. So you're not going to see an increase in sales. It'll be pretty much consistent across the December Q4 period. Keep that in mind when you're buying. If you want to buy more, ask yourself the question, will this product be a gift? If it is, probably onto a winner. If it's not, then stay away. Now, what I will say is, after going through my top selling categories for Amazon Arbitrage in the UK, and that's for the Q4 period, you might want to consider learning about the different sourcing techniques that you're going to be using to find the online products, which are going to give you those profitable products to buy and sell in those categories. So what I'll do is I'll drop my Sourcing 101 playlist around here. Check that out. That's going to really help you out. But what I will say is, hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.